charges dropped, MJ popped, and R. Kelly flopped. Coming up today on The Point.
Qu'est-ce que tu vas me faire? Tu me fais pas peur. Plus de souper avec tes parents.
Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Fred.
And hello, Jim.
I'm back.
Back from Daddy Duty.
Yes, duty.
You can't
exactly.
say duty.
No, you can totally
Sorry.
say duty.
Or daddy, really.
Yeah.
How are things going?
Things are going good. She's starting to sleep, which is good.
Sleep is good.
Which means you're starting to sleep.
Yeah, I'm starting to sleep. But she's also smiling and giggling now. So yeah, and it's like I'm gushing over her just every time she smiles and laughs. It's just like I'm like, God, yeah. It's
How old is she now?
She is 2.5 months. So yeah, like these are big, and like she's a couple of times like let out like a good laugh, like a ha, and you're like, ooh, like, yeah. So
Well, and she laughs every time she watches the
Point,
show.
obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Well, let's get into it with talking point number one. Drop it like it's hot. Okay, so Cook County prosecutors in Chicago have dropped charges against Empire actor Jussie Smollett.
It's a conspiracy.
Is it
They said, well, we'll get to it.
Jumping
What they
in.
said was that the $10,000 fine that he had already paid, that he put up for bond, and the previous community service that he had done.
What previous
was
community
enough.
service?
Actually, that hasn't really been reported.
Like you service the community by being on a TV show they watched? Like,
No, I don't know. I don't know if he picked up garbage on the side of the highway. I have no idea. But a lot of people are saying that this is a quote unquote, like the mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, said, this is a whitewashing, interesting choice of words, a whitewashing of justice. What do you think?
I don't know that with $10,000 and whatever this phantom community service is can erase 16 felony counts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's one thing if it's one thing that you did, whatever, you could, like that's just, I don't know. How do you reconcile that much with such little, I don't know.
They let him off, but they are now investigating it again, right?
Well, the thing is that he cost...
$130,000
$130,000 was the cost of the investigation.
So they want him to pay that.
He wanted him to pay that, but interestingly, he may sue the city in response because they're suing him for the money back.
It's a very Donald Trumpy kind of like.
So is he allowed back on
doubling
Empire
down.
now?
And
or?
They haven't said. They just said that he's not going to be in the last 2 episodes, but I don't know if he's coming back for the next season or if there is any season because the ratings have been the lowest ever because of this whole thing.
I would actually
Maybe
was-
that's maybe this was like just a big publicity stunt.
This whole thing actually reminded me
losing
that Empire
viewers,
was
though.
still on. I thought it had ended a couple of years ago.
They're going to cancel it after this.
Well, this is what Jussie Smollett told reporters after the charges were dropped. I have been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I have been accused of. So he is keeping to his innocence.
Consistency is key
Well,
in lying.
You just
Deny till
gotta
you die,
stick with
right?
your truth, whatever it is.
whatever
Even if it's a
It still doesn't make sense though, like what happened. And like if like he knew the people who attacked him.
yeah.
Well, this is interesting. His lawyer went on the Today Show. The lawyer, Tina Glandian, she went on the Today Show to explain why her client, Jussie Smollett, mistook his attackers for being white when they were actually black. If you remember, the attackers were the black brothers. Yeah. They say they were in disguise. That they were basically in
Like whiteface?
whiteface.
What kind of masks were they wearing?
Are you serious?
Were they wearing masks or were they like?
That's not true.
The Wayans brothers and white girls.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
This is what she said. He only saw one of the attackers. One of them he didn't see. He saw one through a ski mask. Again, he could not see their body. Everything was covered, and he had a full ski mask on except the area around the eyes. He thought that it was white or pale skin. That's what he initially said. Obviously, you can disguise that. You can put makeup on. So the lawyer for Jussie Smollett is saying that the one brother who he could see around the eyes through the ski mask was putting makeup on so that...
I mean, that would be smart if somebody were
Yeah.
attacking somebody else and didn't want to get...
Yeah.
But
I mean, it would be also be smart if you knew the person. Do you know what I mean? Like which is what we have all said, like you just said 2 seconds ago, that he knew the people. So it would be very smart if they knew him and they were going to attack him to put makeup on, to disguise themselves even more.
Well, if they,
Isn't the most
it's all
troubling...
fucked.
yeah.
But also, can we just drop it? Like, I don't care about this anymore. Like it's Chicago, and you have so many other like crimes and so many other things that are happening in your city. You should probably be focusing on this, and not this bullshit.
But prosecutors actually say that they believe he's guilty, but they don't want to. I mean, the thinking is they don't want to waste any more resources on him. They want him to go away.
Yeah.
And the cops also think that he's guilty and are pissed off that they've dropped the charges. The mayor, the police that investigated him, they're like all the deck points to it, but the prosecutors are the ones that have to do it.
Because he's a celebrity and Empire. I mean, the first thing you said was what's going to happen with Empire. I mean, people are interested in this because he is a celebrity. If he weren't a celebrity, we wouldn't be talking about this.
Right, but like a week before, or something like that, a week or so before like this happened, there was a kid in a car, I think he was by himself in the car, and he was just randomly shot in the head. But let's talk about this instead.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Like there's so much shit happening in Chicago that needs to be addressed.
I agree with you, but I also think it's important to talk about, unfortunately, the way some people are utilizing that. I mean, Donald Trump charging that the charges being dropped are an embarrassment to the United States. He wants the FBI and the Department of Justice to investigate.
When you're the embarrassment of the United States, you shouldn't be calling other things an embarrassment of the United States.
This other right-wing person, Stefan Molyneux, I don't know him, but...
you don't know the work of Stefan Molyneux? What?
Whoa.
She said, I don't know her.
I don't know her. But he said it finally proves that white privilege is a racist lie. Pierce Morgan said that...
Oh, fuck Pierce Morgan.
That Smollett lynched the truth.
Lynched.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice word.
Ow.
Nice word.
Wow.
And One American News correspondent Jack Posobiec said, this proves that you can be a Democrat and get away with anything.
Oh my fucking god.
No.
Flip this table over.
You know what I will
All of that
say
made me
is,
so mad.
has anybody watched the OJ documentary?
Not yet.
They talked to like all the jurors on that, and of course this was like after Rodney King and all that kind of stuff. And this is why this is going to be food, for their fodder. Like it's just going to grow because of this. Because if you watch that, like there were jurors that were like, yeah, we knew he was guilty, but there was no way we were going to convict a black man. Right? Wow. So if you think that that's possible, these right-wing people are probably going to use this and be like, yeah, this is like a black person getting away with it because he's black. And it's not like it hasn't happened before. He's no OJ. Like OJ at the time was like the man, right? But
I think this is important to keep in mind. A recent study by scholars at the University of North Texas have shown that counties that have hosted a 2016 Trump campaign rally saw a 226% increase in hate crimes in their counties.
That's not surprising.
That's right.
It's not surprising, but now the right wing is using this case to say hate crimes are a lie, racism is a lie, white privilege is a lie.
And all those things are lies.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, even though you say, I don't want to talk about this anymore, I do think it's important to keep tabs on this because this is going to be weaponized against the Democrats.
Yeah.
And now it's time for Tito's Midpoint.
This week we're playing Point of No Return. Take a question. Actually,
I hate this game.
this time
No, you love it.
you can ask anyone else the question if you don't want to answer it.
Sounds good. Or if I think someone would have a better answer than me.
Right.
You don't know.
And just your answer should be in the form of a question.
Oh, God.
Wow, we're adding a whole new layer to this
Yeah.
game.
If you could close one, why is every letter capitalized on this?
I hate
Screaming.
that.
You have to yell it. Yeah, you have to yell it.
If you could choose, I'm sorry. If you could close one fast food chain due to disgusting food, what would you pick? Ooh. I kind of want to hear
I
other
know.
answers, but I will very quickly answer Harvey's.
What?
No.
Harvey's is so good.
The one
I've
you
always
don't
hated. It's like
close it,
eating a sponge that has been.
A delicious sponge.
Don't.
Yes.
No.
That's exactly what it is.
Don't close it for disgusting food. You close it for its horrible right-wing policies.
Oh,
you
Chick-fil-A?
close down Chick-fil-A.
What about
We don't have
Subway
Chick-fil-A.
for
Taco Bell.
for
Pizza,
pedophiles?
pizza.
Never eaten there,
What?
never will.
Taco Bell? Taco Bell's great.
It's not even meat, it's powder that they fucking mix up. And it just goes.
Okay,
Astronauts eat
Taco
that.
Bell
You're
is
better
one
than
of
an
our,
astronaut.
sponsors, are they? No, okay.
Wait, we have sponsors?
Adam, go ahead.
Sorry.
We love you, patrons.
Love you, Taco Bell.
Love you, Taco Bell.
Taco Hell.
It's worth it. It's worth the time on the toilet.
That's the new commercial.
What are you most likely to stay up all night talking about?
Dicks.
Booty holes.
I am so uncomfortable by that term.
Boys, sex, or TV.
Yeah.
It's one of
Or
those,
all
one of those
three.
Or all three, really.
That's some good TV.
I mean, usually after my hookups, I'm like, okay, so what do you watch on TV? What are your favorite shows? I'll take my dick out of your ass now.
And then do you ever have regrets after that?
Sorry.
You ever, if the
Jesus.
person is just like, my favorite show is something, and you're like, really?
Really? Can
Nashville.
You really get,
Nashville's great, okay?
get the
I am glad that I have already finished.
Okay, in what situation or place would you feel the most out of place in? What are those things called?
Gay sex clubs.
Yeah, like bathhouses.
Bathhouse. What is this thing you call?
What is this thing?
Fisting parties.
So bad.
Fisting parties. No, I love those. I would feel very comfortable there.
Bring your Thanos
Love a
gauntlet.
good, love a good old
It's not
fisting
like
party.
Fight Club.
No.
Yeah.
It's just,
I know,
or
like
are we
You
just
do
going
talk
around doing
about it
this?
a lot, is that? That's what it is? You do talk about it a lot?
Teats.
If you could be a member of any TV sitcom family, which would it be?
That's a good one.
Adam.
No.
Step by step.
Probably Will and Grace. Will and Grace.
Not a family,
well,
though.
yeah.
What? Yes.
It's a chosen family.
100%. It's a chosen family. Don't start with me.
And
We're getting
actually,
late.
Jack
We'll
has
cover
a
you later.
son.
Yeah,
and a grandson.
Exactly. That's a fam jam right
I
there.
never.
What about
really
the
watched that show.
Winslows?
Yes, Family Matters.
Family Matters.
Yeah, but then you have to live beside Urkel.
And in Chicago, which is
Or-
very
and
in
dangerous.
Chicago,
We
yeah.
just
Chicago's
talked about
great.
Chicago.
I love Chicago.
Fresh Prince.
Oh
money.
shit! Yeah,
Because
Fresh
they have
Prince, because
money.
then you got the money too.
I know Tito
Smart.
because he's creepy and he's kooky.
But I think it would be amazing to have Adam on as
I knew
like
he wouldn't get the reference.
the foster white kid for one of these shows.
I'll take it. I'll take that job. It's fine. I'll take that job.
I bet you say that to all the boys.
Got one of those
Yeah, I
white
do.
boy city
I do.
gays.
If you could disinvent one thing, what would it be? I'll give this to Doug.
Wow.
You're angry at a lot of things. I'm sure there's a bunch of things you'd want to disinvent.
Oh, what could I disinvent? This is very exciting. Wait, does this come true if I say it? Is that
Maybe. Try.
Crocs.
I'm gonna say the Kardashians.
Oh, could we do people? I
That's
didn't
not
know
a
we could do
thing.
people.
You
Yes.
can't do that.
Sure you
Thank
can,
you.
but you
Next.
can. I can feel
You know,
it. The anger is
I
heated.
think maybe drive-through banks.
What?
Because fuck you,
What?
get out of your car and go
love-
to the machine or whatever. You're just taking up room in the parking lot that other people need for the other
Hey,
stores.
I
There
actually
is a
didn't know that was a
lovely
thing.
drive-through bank in Grimsby that I love.
Also,
so much.
I would
can't-
disinvent Grimsby.
I don't.
I actually don't know anything of Grimsby. I'm sure it's lovely.
What is
Shots fired,
something?
man.
What is something you've done to try to be cooler?
Be on the
Do you
point.
mean other than have sex with a woman?
That's fair. For you, I
That's
guess.
hilarious.
For you, that's fair.
It was high school, okay?
It doesn't work, by the way.
Just
I've been trying
like
for
smoking, but
33
no, I'm
years.
just gonna fuck this shit.
Maybe not. 33.
Well,
I'm
I did.
cool.
I tried smoking a cigarette as
Afterwards.
well. And afterwards.
Yeah.
And
then was she like, "Are you gay?" Just based on that one.
love
With the cigarette holder and yeah.
Marvelous.
Well, it was this whole oral fixation thing I went through in high school.
Oh well.
So,
It hasn't gone away.
You know.
Hopefully it hasn't
Yeah.
gone away. Jeez. If it
so you're
did.
going with smoking or ladies?
Smoking ladies.
Smoking ladies. All right.
That's probably how you knew that it wasn't right for you.
Thank
What are
you,
you
Tito,
doing down there?
for today's midpoint.
I'm taking my eye out with that one.
You say that to all the boys.
No mercy, baby.
And now it's time for talking point number 2. Beat it.
Yeah, not great to be talking about topping it
Yeah, and then going
just
into
before
that.
leading into this.
Not a great title.
Okay, so, well, at least now we know what he was thinking when he wrote the song.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What, too soon?
That was problematic.
Too soon? Oh, come on. We've
No,
known
let's go.
Okay,
about
go into the
we've
top.
known about the Michael Jackson allegations since the 90s.
long
I
time.
don't
Dawn
really
of
understand. But okay, so the Michael Jackson documentary, Leaving Neverland, the HBO doc, it premiered. Lots of people are watching it. It focuses on these 2 guys and their allegations.
It's
Wade
interesting that there was
Robson.
Finding Neverland, that movie.
Well, this is
And
right.
then it's like they found it and now they're trying to get away.
Well, yeah. I actually, because I knew we were talking about this, I watched the first part. I didn't watch the second half, but you watched the whole thing.
I did.
So what was your takeaway from the documentary?
I felt like it was so prolonged and could have been half the time that it was, but it was very touching and moving.
Touching. Oh, great. Yes.
It was moving,
Whoopsie,
and
whoopsie.
yeah, like obviously they're telling the truth, but a lot of people are still saying that they don't believe them. So it's really like, who do you trust? Who do you believe?
I think some people, even if they did believe them, they don't care, right? It's the same people that are on
Especially
Twitter
after so
saying that
long.
they would let, what's his face?
Beat them up, yeah.
Beat them up and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, they're just like, Michael Jackson is like amazing, so it doesn't matter what he did.
Well, but that's and I
Do you have
wanna-
the Barbra Streisand thing?
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. I do. That's an interesting point. Can you separate the art from the artist? Like, I don't really understand this whole concept of canceling Michael
Cancel.
Jackson.
Yeah, I would do that.
Why?
Because I did that with Chris Brown.
But okay,
Chris Brown did not
'Cause he's
contribute
trash.
to fucking music what Michael Jackson
No.
contributed
No, but
to
he-
music.
Like,
Let's not say that they're the same level at all. You know what I
Just
mean?
saying, they both did a shitty
Okay,
thing.
so
and
so
Yeah.
if you're someplace, you're out at a club and it's Halloween and Thriller comes on, are you gonna like walk out of the room? Are you gonna get angry? Are you gonna start protesting? Are you banning Michael Jackson from your Spotify or whatever?
I think it's okay to do it from
I
your
don't
Spotify if that's
listen.
your personal choice and that's your Spotify. Like, go for it, your Spotify playlist. But if you're at a club and a Thriller comes on, then who fucking cares?
No, but some
Dance with
people
Thriller.
have said
They're gonna walk out. Like,
cares?
dramatic.
Some pundits have said
I'll
that
roll my eyes and just like not dance to it, or
This-
go pee or something.
But there are people who are saying
the dance floor.
radio stations, radio
On the DJ.
on. Well, I think that was in the documentary too.
That's R. Kelly, actually.
Oh, that was R. Kelly. Okay, well, we'll get to him in a second.
We shouldn't be joking.
There are people saying ban him from radio,
Yeah.
ban
him from streaming services. Is that going too
Well,
far?
why didn't this happen before when all these allegations
Well, that's
were out?
my question. I mean,
Just
Yeah,
like
it's been
this day
happening
and
forever.
age, like you see all these things and you have to react to it. Otherwise, people will think you're a piece of shit. So you have to act in a certain way.
I
But
mean,
also,
I
is there not something to be said about maybe we did not react the way that we should have at the time,
Yeah.
and now we're making up for it. And so
But he was
just
also
because we
acquitted of
didn't
the charges
react
back
that
in
way
the day, right?
previously,
He was acquitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's why
Okay,
everything
fair, I don't
went
know.
on to be what it is now.
Yes, he
but
was
now
acquitted.
it's back.
But
yeah.
I mean, O.J. Simpson was also
Exactly.
acquitted.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
we all knew he was guilty,
Exactly.
even though O.J. Simpson is very much
Yeah.
on today's show. But I mean, even if he was exonerated by a court, by a jury, it doesn't mean like
that he didn't do it.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't declare him innocent. It declared him not guilty, right? So
Watching this thing was crazy because he literally had a child with him every fucking second of the day, and nobody said anything. The parents totally didn't
that's
think
what Peter's
anything was
also-
wrong.
It's like
No,
that
it's
that
insane.
other documentary, the what is it, Taken in Plain Sight or something like that.
love that
That is just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So good.
how like every minute of that is questioning your garbage parenting decisions. Like
Yeah, but
what
that's
could
not
possibly
fair.
have happened
Like,
to
actually,
let you
hindsight,
let your
though.
child sleep in the bed of an
That's not
adult
fair.
on
No,
their
because
own?
like they had a personal relationship with him too, and like he was obviously
Yes.
very sweet and loving. Like he really loved these kids, but at the same time he loved them too much.
yeah.
And they obviously loved him too. And like even when they grew up and like he was dead, like they still loved him and couldn't even tell people what had happened because they still had that love for him.
But just because you love someone or trust them, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like if I end up having kids, I have like friends who are my life partners. I would never let them sleep in a
But
bed
this
with my
is this
child
is another.
alone.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna like
Which
I'm
also happened
confused
with
whether we're
Michael
talking
Jackson.
about abduction in plain sight or we're talking about Michael Jackson. I
Well,
don't
the same thing happened in both.
Okay.
The same thing happened in both, which
Okay.
is why it worked.
What pisses me off is it's that all the parents. Oh, well, it was Michael Jackson. It was Michael Jackson. I'm like, but you still let your kids sleep in a bed with an adult man
Yes.
that you don't know. That's
oh,
weird.
okay.
It doesn't matter how famous the
No,
person is.
that's fucking
it's
weird.
you not doing your
It's
job as a
weird.
parent.
Yes.
But
and protecting
there
your child.
is a level of, I mean, I do have a level of sympathy for the parents. They obviously, looking back, realized what they did was wrong, but they were taken in. I mean, we talked about the celebrity effect with Jussie Smollett. Here's the celebrity effect again with Michael Jackson, and he was the biggest celebrity ever
So the
at that
parents,
moment.
the parents were asked this, and one of the parents' explanation was he grew up like without a childhood his whole life. He was always in front of a camera. He didn't have a
hate that
childhood,
excuse.
and that's why he built the Neverland thing because he wanted to be a kid again, and he was like a child with the children.
He was
Fuck
mental.
off.
No, Michael Jackson was mentally ill.
Super
100%,
unstable,
and
yeah.
no one did anything.
No
They're
one
like,
did
oh,
anything,
well,
and
no,
why
let him
didn't
live
the-
as a child. Like,
Right,
no,
but why
you're an adult
didn't-
man.
And why didn't they do anything? It's because they were taken in by the celebrity.
Yeah.
The parents even
Okay, but
said
his family's not.
No, but
So why didn't they do anything?
What-
Why are they getting
what-
off the hook?
What? Jermaine?
Why-
They're all
because they're all
living
making
off
the
of
money,
his,
his
money,
off
right?
of him.
Exactly.
He, as Michael Jackson, whether this was a huge scheme or not, this was a scheme. I mean, planned or not, this was a scheme. He bought people off.
Yeah.
The
Also,
parents,
the context of it too. The other thing of, you know, again, just because I'm thinking of the other ones, the plain sight thing is just straight up ridiculousness. But the way they explain it in the doc, it's you understand the leaps from one thing to another. It's not, can I sleep in the bed with him? It's, can we sleep in the house, you know, over whatever, we're gonna play, whatever. And also, they were having sex all over the place. They were, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like, oh, we're watching movies in that thing,
Right,
and
but
he's
my
going to have
point
sex
is
with
the
them in
mother-
the projection room or whatever.
one of the
Yeah.
mothers says, because we let him sleep in the bed, we got to live part-time in this magical fantasy world. They were taken in by the money, the celebrity, and this world.
My son's
this
being molested,
bubble.
but as long as we're in a
but
nice
they
house,
didn't
that's
know.
fine.
No,
You knew. That's
They
so
asked-
stupid. You knew.
They also
That's-
asked the kids, and obviously, like they said, no, nothing was going on.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But there's parents out there that will, like, quote unquote, whore out their kids for anything, right?
Those
Like
people shouldn't be
Hollywood is
100%.
rife with parents that are just like, you
Even
know, oh,
like,
you need my
uh,
kid to do this? Fine.
Fortnite or whatever that stupid game is
yeah.
called. There's people that are like forcing their kids to stay home to try to make money off of that.
Yeah. Like the people like on
Yeah.
YouTube that are like abusing their kids to get
Yeah, to get
subscribers,
subscribers
and
and
stuff
followers
like that.
and shit, yeah.
So there's parents like that everywhere. So you're like, oh, Michael Jackson. What's the worst that could happen?
But then
I
to
could make
come
$1 million
out-
bucks.
But then to come out during this documentary and fucking say all the shit that Tito just said, like,
Yeah.
oh, give me a sob story. I fucking let my kid be abused by Michael Jackson because I wanted to live in a fancy house.
yeah, but what are they getting
now
now?
I'm all sad, and now
they're
I'm
getting
gonna
their
get all
15
this fucking
they're
money
getting
for
their
this
15 minutes.
documentary.
Yeah.
Well,
But he was doing a lot for their career, so they obviously thought that it was good for their
Right,
future.
exactly. That they were helping their kid,
Yeah.
right? The mother said, "Oh, I thought," or the grandmother said, "I thought they were." Michael was teaching him the dance moves that he would need to be a successful singer and dancer. They had no idea that this was going on. I'm not offering excuses.
I
for
wouldn't
them.
say that they had no idea. I think they just turned a blind
Turned
eye.
a blind eye.
Right? They're like,
chose not to pull at
there's this
that
possibility
thread,
of
yeah.
something
Okay.
great, but
But then there's also the whole idea too that these two were just doing it for like the money.
yeah.
There
Why
is
would
the
you?
other
I
side.
mean, I
I'm not
don't.
saying
Why
I
would
agree
you?
with that, but, like-
I mean, the level of granular detail that
And
they
the amount
go
of money
into,
they're ultimately going to get
I mean,
out of
Frank,
all of
that's
this is
the-
not.
That's the one.
But if
that-
you're broke AF,
If
the
you're
amount
broke,
of
you're
money
not making enough
that's
money
the
off
one-
of,
the
like
one-
to be even
Wade
able to
Robson
make
is
this.
Well, if they
Right,
write a
yeah.
book or something.
if they
right?
write a book,
one issue, and
if
I'm
you're trying to
curious-
revitalize your
I'm curious what you
career,
guys- okay, quickly, we got to talk about R. Kelly.
Okay.
Is because there was the R. Kelly documentary that preceded the Michael Jackson documentary. Is that I love Gail King.
Yeah.
I love Gail King in this
she was the
interview.
bomb.
There's so many memes going on. This
love
is
it.
the greatest.
What happened with R. Kelly? Is that part of the reason why the stuff with Michael Jackson is back and we're talking more and more about it? Because people were canceling R. Kelly before they were canceling Michael Jackson.
I think it allowed the Leaving Neverland doc to get more traction because the conversation of this horrible shit going on in the music industry and with people associated with that had already begun.
You were talking about this as part of the movement and the time that we're in, Me Too and all that. I feel like the Michael Jackson stuff, even though the accusations have been there since the 90s, it's been ramped up through this documentary because what we've already experienced with Harvey Weinstein, and then on top of that, R. Kelly. I shouldn't have said on top of, but okay, yeah, let's get out of this. Tito, Bop of the Week. And it better not be Ignition.
Ew. Bob of the Week this week is Lennon Stella, and it's called Bitch. And you want to know why it's called Bitch?
Why is it called Bitch?
Because it takes a bitch to know a bitch. Bitch.
And what Lennon Stella, what TV show was she famously on?
Nashville.
Dun dun dun.
Something like that or
Everything
Family
just
Matters.
tied right together with it.
And who are her parents?
Her parents are the Stellas, the country band.
Like, oh,
Interestingly, her
God.
godfather is O.J. Simpson.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to us on YouTube. YouTube.com/thepointguys. Helps us greatly, costs you nothing. Don't just subscribe though. Hit the little bell so that you get notified every time there is a new episode. You can also take us as you go in your ears as
Oh
an
my
audio
God,
podcast
what was
on
that?
iTunes.
What are we,
No.
fucking bunny rabbits?
If you really want to help us out, go to our crowdfunding site, Patreon, patreon.com/thepointguys. And we talked about a lot of controversial stuff today. Let us know what you think about the Michael Jackson documentary, the Jussie Smollett decision. Comment below here on YouTube or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @thepointguys. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
Frank.
you. We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point.
And I will have